Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the second part of this case. Of course, still playing Illinois, the homicide cases. We have got to go to technical services, which is basically like the basements. We have been here before, right? I mean, during the playthrough? I don't recall. And Finbar still doesn't have the hats.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the spares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and type from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
Let's see this one first before going to the poem.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case.
Ah, the fuck you, BD. I've changed my mind. You would not give a square deal. Fuck you, BD text. And the poem.
Keep upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
I'm not reading the rest.
You think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley. Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
So he's right here in Central. The other side, genius. Speaking of geniuses, I can run.
Improve your attitude,
This is the one.
Angel.
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment. That was the last time I saw her.
Last contact with the victim. We should confirm what the neighbor told us.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
You lie.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
Yeah, but what about what the husband told us? That you followed her.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right? But she went out, and I went out after her, and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford Coupe.
So, divorce proceedings.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
You lie because we found the letter.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
Chauvinistic and everything but... Where is the thing? There we go. There we go. The attorney's letter, yeah.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus.
I know they sound fucked up for a second. I fixed it.
Out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
Jewelry taken from the body.
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
You're not lying.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Bloodstained shirt found.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
That's the most retarded lie or excuse concerning the amount of blood we found. But we have no proof. Therefore, I'm going for doubt.
Angel, I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Give me something or I'm going to have you charged.
My brother, cripple leader, he said some bad things about Antonia last night. So I had to sock him one. We got into it.
Keep talking.
She said she came from the El Dorado bar.
And?
It's not one of my places. We used to buy fruit at the market down the street. But the creep there was always running his eyes all over my wife.
What's the name of this fruit market?
Just picked fruit. Ord Street downtown.
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us.
He doesn't appear to be the killer anyway. So now we are going to the bar, once and for all.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
We got this place, but we are going to leave that for later, so let's go to the bar.
You don't think it's strange that all these murders are happening to girls who've been out drinking?
No. A broad drinks, she gets a bit tight, she starts mouthing off. This leads to that, and she ends up in an alleyway. Sad story, but this town's seen it play out 1,000 times.
Why don't you want to see a connection here?
Because there are perfectly good real-life suspects for every one of these murders. We don't need to go looking for the monster under the bed.
For the time being, that is. Tony gets in a liquor too and sees...
Wow, Rusty hasn't recovered the hand yet.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. So what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
So this is for the houseman.
Want a tip? Refill my coffee next time.
Ah, these are the divorce papers.
Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was gonna show him.
So we need to interview this guy. Missing jewelry.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Nah, you know more. Especially when interviewing these new guys. These unexpected witnesses or whatever. You cannot prove that they're lying, but they're not telling the truth completely. So that's why usually the most common answer is doubt.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
And then movement saw the victim.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was gonna serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
Okay, this is truth. It sounded certain from beginning to end.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
Sam is taking.
We gotta discard all suspects, asking every single one of them their size of shoe. So now we're going to the fruit place. Oh, wait a minute.
Behind the wheel.
Wait a
Where
minute.
exactly are we going?
I think this is one little bug from the game, I don't know. But I remember, like, asking some of the regulars,
Say, honey, what time did you get off wooden table?
or trying to interact with something else. Oh yeah, the phone.
Run.
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
Fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
We found a crate a lot like the ones you're wheeling there, except it was filled with booze. You know anything about that?
What? No, we deliver all over the place, officer. No telling where the boxes end up. Excuse me, I have to get on with this.
Fine, thanks.
Okay, I think that's all what we needed to obtain for this place. Yeah, it wasn't the bug I was expecting. Probably got confused with another bar. But I think I talked like to all of the regulars and found all of the clues. I even saw the location wasn't crossed out from the locations list.
Where are we headed?
Anyway, we are going precisely to the fruit marketplace.
Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters? Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. You seen the body? Fucking cased his nozzle away from his guts. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gut fucking sidewalk.
Physician studies show 3 out of 4 women lack sufficient.
That was profound, to say the least. So we should admit it the same guy, yeah? That's his car, precisely. Yeah. Same dude.
The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start to save ourselves today's legwork.
Hi.
Sir, I'm the... Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
So, distinctive necklace.
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
I think he knows what I'm talking about. Oh, look at that. Advertisement in the background. And it applies to the current times, I guess. Doubt.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
Contact with the victim.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You look at the floor immediately. You know more information. Doubts.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She had me back until last night.
And last, but not least, movements of the
Where
victim.
did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Okay, sounds fair enough. Truth.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think.
Ah.
She seemed to know the guy.
It matches the husband's description of the
Why
car.
would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
Surprise, surprise.
No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
So just drinks or something else?
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
Wasn't it 2, 3, 5? Remember that? Now, dot pattern notes. It was 2, 5, 3. There you go. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body of which he is the Savior. Okay. So are these the victims' things? Huh.
Are you working Friday night? We could go out after.
What is this? A little knife? Full of blood?
I cut someone who was already dead.
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. Must have seen it during the war. This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
He noticed. Time for chasing.
God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I lost him. Shit.
I'll try to shoot out his tires.
There he is.
Wish me luck.
Let me get closer first.
Should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own marker.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
I'm trying.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Yeah, that's it. Easier than expected. So the evidence seems to be more convincing this time. I don't know.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
And this ends the case.
Job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
But of course the captain got his prize too. Why not? One little box will do. So I found all of the clues, I answered all of the questions correct. I caused a little bit of city damage in the chase, but you know, that's almost irrelevant for the 5 stars I just got. So yeah, that was the Sealed Stocking Murder. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next case.